Through various agencies, a daily job search became my full-time job, and in a way was my only pastime. Applying with hope but expecting no response had become a routine. In addition to relevant senior posts, I even applied for receptionist roles. I have a master's degree with varied and extensive experience, yet I was left feeling like a useless person. Many of the staff in the various organisations I was bounced around in, and I have to say bounced around because they were not very interested in my future, and some of them were quite abrasive. They didn't care about my education, they didn't care about my professional background. In actual fact, I wondered if they cared about anything to do with me and my role in looking for a job. And they most certainly weren't concerned about the hidden age discrimination that and I think most people face. Let me tell you about this individual who looked at my CV. He said, "I see no reason why you're not working." I remember vividly my response to such a silly comment. "Well then get me a job and I'll start today." It was degrading and humiliating to tell irrelevant and unconcerned people about my situation. This was why I began hiding my past experience and the subject of my master's degree. I've actually lost count of how many jobs I've applied for and all the rejections, but one thing I'm absolutely certain of, that behind those rejections or even non-acceptances is age discrimination. There's no feedback when you apply. You put in your application and you'll be lucky to get an email saying you've been rejected. Everything is email. There's no opportunity to speak to anyone. Let me tell you, job centres, when they're faced with someone like me, senior manager, they've got no idea. They're at a loss. They can't help senior managers, project managers. They don't really understand what your experience or background entails. You turn around to them and they say, "Well, what have you done?" And you say, "Well, I was a senior sales manager here. I was a senior manager for this company." And their response is, "Well, we've got a job as the manager of a bar, or you can work in a pub." And it's absolutely meaningless. There's no fit whatsoever. And I have to say, you can't educate them and you can't really help them to help you, because to them, you're not a person, you're just a statistic, and all they want to do is get you in and out in as short as possible time, tick the right boxes and move on. I volunteer at my local jobs club. Being active in a job club is great. Being able to talk to people in the same boat as you, it really helps to have meaningful voluntary work, something to get up for, a routine. Plus I go to networking sessions because I've heard that a high percentage of jobs aren't advertised. They're secured or initiated through a network opportunity, as opposed to looking at adverts or advertised jobs. I've also created a LinkedIn profile, which I use for applying for a number of jobs. And it's true to say I've had a fairly good response in terms of people looking at my profile. It's nice to have the feedback. Let me tell you about the job I'm currently doing. You will not believe this. I put in my job application, I did all the online questionnaire, I did all the online assessments, and I was perfect for the job. It's one of those few cases where you know your background dictates it is a perfect job for you. And I was rejected. And I emailed the CEO and I said to him, "I've been rejected for this role. You clearly have either not looked at my CV, which is a perfect fit for the job, or you have a concern about my age." Within 24 hours, the agency were back on the phone saying they'd made a mistake in rejecting me and would I attend an assessment centre and an interview.